Welcome back to episode 3 and our final episode in our new Adventure Bus 3.0 build series. Now, if you haven't seen the previous 2 videos where we took a standard 2016 VW Caddy Maxi and turned it into what's behind me, our dream swamper camper build, we're actually back to where this whole series started, and I would say this build's been roughly 2 years in the making, pulling everything together, finding the perfect van, which definitely took a lot of time, but we are really happy with how she's turned out. So in this video, we're going to give you a full comprehensive tour. So let's dive in and show you all around the new and very cool looking Adventure Bus 3.0. Thanks for tuning in again, folks. I'm Lloyd Purvis and this is Run for Adventure. But if it is your first time clicking on a thumbnail and watching one of our videos, then obviously we're predominantly a running channel, hence the name Run for Adventure. However, over the years, we've enjoyed jumping in our little camper van, heading over to Europe to train and race in some stunning locations like Italy, Switzerland, Austria, Slovenia and Chamonix, France. And our little adventure bus has kind of taken on its own identity. So we thought it was about time we had an upgrade to something newer, a lot more reliable, but more importantly, something that's way more practical to live and work in when we're away for long periods of time. And here she is. So let's start off by showing you around the outside. So the first part of the build was to head down to Kernow Colours in Penryn, and Ben attached an arch kit to the van for us, and then he colour coded it in black Raptor paint, which I think really transformed the look of the van. We also added some gloss grills into the bumper there, and we did some gloss wing mirrors, but we also had a nice little attention to detail where Ben tinted out the fog lights in yellow, and I think that really sets the front of the van off. The next thing we did was we travelled up to Xplore Campers in Somerset, and we got some of their swamper accessories attached to our caddy. So first thing was these 2 mole panels, which since then we've attached our max tracks just in case we get stuck in any sort of muddy fields. And we also got a handy shovel because, you know, you need these things to achieve that sort of all-round swamper look. It didn't stop there because the guys also put on one of their rugged ladders on the back door, and we also got a spare wheel carrier. Amazing quality, it's all fabricated in-house, and it was all fitted for free within 3 hours, so a great service from Xplore Campers. Next on the list for the swamper build, obviously we had to upgrade the standard alloys, so we went with some 16-inch Rogue alloys with some nice chunky BF Goodrich trail terrain tyres. So they're perfect for what we need. If we do get stuck in a muddy field, they're going to help, but they're also really good when you're using them on the road for long periods of time. I smoked out the indicators just to fit in with that silver black look. We put some branding on the side of the van, so all these guys have been so supportive in this build, and it wouldn't have been possible without them. So we actually put them on in a car park, myself and Liga, about 7 o'clock in the morning. I think we were staying at a Travelodge and we're just heading to Harrier. So yeah, this is our finest work here. Also, myself and John, a good friend of mine, put on some side running boards as well. And that was only the other week, but again, it really has made a big difference to the overall look of the caddy. We also put a tinted window in the side of the van, and believe it or not, this is the first time we've had a window in one of our campers, and it really does make a massive difference. So we popped down to Chilli Jam Vans in Hale, Cornwall. They popped the window in for us, but they also carpeted the interior and battened the floor inside, preparing it for the main install of the furniture, and we'll show you that a bit later in the video. And last but not least, we got some rail covers, colour coded them to the van. Obviously, I think it makes a huge difference to the overall look. It covers up those ugly rails on the side of a Caddy Maxi, and we also put some wind diffusers on the front window, so really handy if you want to crack the window open to get some ventilation. And I also put a bonnet guard on just to protect that bonnet from any stone chips when we're doing those long road trips, and I even put in some carbon fibre look-alike VW badges just to finish that whole sort of silver and black colour-coded look off. So there you have it, folks. That is the exterior of our new swamper camper and all the work that's been carried out. But now it's time to show you what I personally think is the pièce de résistance, and that is the very cool Ply Guys interior. So we actually travelled all the way from Cornwall up to just outside Glasgow in Scotland to get this interior done. So that kind of highlights how good the Ply Guys work is. And I actually discovered them around about 8 years ago. I went along to a Banff Film Festival in Cornwall and they were one of the sponsors, and I've kind of followed them ever since. I've been seeing these amazing campervan interiors for years and years, hoping that one day we might get one of our own. And it seems kind of surreal now sitting in our own Ply Guys interior. So incredibly good workmanship. It's all made out of natural materials, lots of plywood. We've even got Harris tweed on the seat covers, which I think is a great little attention to detail with the guys being in Scotland. So we had a couple of meetings with Craig on the old Zoom call discussing what we needed from our camper. And this is the interior design that they kind of come up with. So we've got a real sort of simple but practical interior to the van, and that's exactly what we wanted. You know, we've got no leisure battery and electrics wired in, we've got no gas or water plumbed in, because we wanted as few things that could go wrong as possible for when we're out there on the road for long periods of time. Most of the time when we are camping, we're in campsites, so we've got all of that on site. And if we do have to go off grid for a couple of days, we've got a small power station and we can carry our own water, and we've got a twin gas burner for cooking. So that's more than adequate for a couple of days. The main thing we wanted was for this interior to be super functional. And I personally think the Ply Guys have absolutely smashed that out of the park. So the first thing we've got is 2 big storage drawers. And when I say big, they are massive. There's so much storage in there. You just pull them out from under the seat sections there. And this was a big issue with some of our previous camper vans. We didn't have enough storage. So I would just spend hours and hours every day moving stuff around and then moving it around several times again. So storage, they've definitely nailed that. But there's also lots of configuration. So we've currently got it set up in an L-shaped sort of sofa layout, perfect for when we're working or editing videos inside the van. But there's lots of other configurations you can have. So you can have it in a sort of C-shaped layout where you pull the bottom section across, which creates this lovely sort of long seating area in the back of the van. Open the doors, drinking coffee, staring at beautiful mountain views, which hopefully we'll be doing very soon on the channel, and we'll be bringing you guys along with us. But you can also have a D-shaped, which creates a nice large seating area, perfect if myself and Liga want to watch a video one night. Or you can even turn it into a good sized double bed. Now, I know we got a TentBox on the roof, which we're going to show you in a bit more detail in a minute, but if we're in terrible weather or we're just stopping over for one night and we don't want to pop the TentBox up, then we can sleep comfortably in the back of the van. So you can see what I mean. This is a super functional camper van interior. Now, if you have been following the build series, you'll know that we've had some incredible sponsors when it comes to the Adventure Bus 3.0 build, and none of this would have been possible without them. And the Ply Guys came up with some real cool sort of branded features that are super practical as well. So on the left here, we've got a Harrier trail running storage board, so perfect for stowing away our running poles, first aid kits, bivvy bags, dry bags, things like that. So they're really easy to access if we're going for a run on the trails, hiking in the mountains, or we're going to be pushing hard in a race. Another cool feature on the end of the big storage drawer here, so if I pull that out, we've got a small pop-up Say Sky table. So click that up, perfect for when we're using this as a cook station. So we can put the stove on top, and this gives us a little bit more space to chop our veg and cook up a storm in the campsite. So not only do they look good, but they are super functional. And we've actually got a couple of other really cool features in the big drawer that pulls out the side. So if I pull the side drawer out, in these 2 center storage compartments is where we got some more bespoke stuff going on. So in the first one, this is where we're going to stow away all our sort of nutrition and electrolyte products. We actually gave the Ply Guys a bit of an idea of what we're after. Liga did some really cool mock-ups, and this is what they produced. It is such a cool space. Looks great, but again, super functional. So this is where we can stow away all our precision fuel and hydration gels, energy bars and energy chews. Loads of space in there, but it also completely lifts out of that storage compartment, so you can use it for something else. So like I said, keeping that sort of functional, practical system going, and then pop that back in there. Next to it is where we're going to stow away all our lighting solutions. So our running head torches, handheld torches, spare batteries. Again, Phoenix, a brand we've worked with for years on the channel. They've always been very supportive. They got behind the Adventure Bus 3.0 build. So again, lots of storage inside, a similar setup to the nutrition space, but we've also got some internal lighting. So Phoenix sorted us out with these really powerful little lanterns, so very bright, super long burn time, and these literally clip into the little bungees in the ceiling in the van. And we got 3 of these, and they are going to give us more than enough light inside, that is for sure. So really happy with these little bespoke touches that the Ply Guys worked into the build. So we really couldn't be any happier with the interior of the van, and the Ply Guys have done such a good job. You know, it's really going to be so much more comfortable, more practical, more functional when we're away on the road. Having all those storage spaces is just going to be a game changer for us, it really is. But I think it's about time we popped up the tent box, climbed up the ladder and showed you where the magic happens. Obviously by magic I meant, you know, editing our videos on a computer. I mean, what else would I mean by magic? We made the short trip up to Cornwall Roof Tents in Truro, and we had a chat with the guys and looked at all the different models they had available. In the end, we went with the TentBox Cargo 2.0, and there was a couple of reasons for that. So firstly, this literally takes 30 seconds to set up. So you unclip it, the struts pop it up, and you can keep all your bedding inside, and you can just jump in and go to sleep. So it's very, very practical. Secondly, it's one of the only few tent boxes where you can have roof bars on it and you can carry a big storage box. So again, we're just trying to maximize the overall storage we've got with the camper van. Internally, you've got lots of little storage compartments. You can stow things away, loads of ventilation, fly screens on the side windows and the front porch. And we've also got a tunnel awning with it, which we actually set up at the Serpent Trail race recently, and it gives you a great space off the back of the van, so you can have the back doors opened. It's fully covered. We also went with a few additions, so we've got a nice memory foam mattress topper that makes it very plush in here, and like I said, we've got the additional roof bars and the storage box, and we've also got a thermal insulated liner to go in if we camp out in the middle of a cold UK winter. I'm not sure we're ever going to do that, but we've got one if we need it. And I actually got asked a few times at the Serpent Trail race, how do I sleep in here, because surely it's not long enough. Well, I actually slept really well in the tent box. So I'm 6'1" and I can get fully stretched out inside of this. The other reason that we've kind of gone with this setup of a tent box on top of the Caddy is because where we live, we've got parking under the building, so we are restricted to height, so we couldn't have a bigger van. So we felt the tent box route is the perfect way to solve that problem. It gives us upstairs for our sleeping space and then downstairs for that working and living space. So it really does make the most out of the space we've got available in, at the end of the day, what is a pretty small camper van. So there you have it, folks. That is a full comprehensive tour of the exterior, the interior and the tent box on our new Adventure Bus 3.0. You can probably tell we are super excited with how it turned out, and we got to say a big thanks to you guys for watching and supporting the channel over the years, but also all our incredible sponsors that made this build achievable. We could never have done it without them. So Say Sky, Phoenix Lighting, Harrier Trail Running, Precision Fuel and Hydration, a massive thanks for supporting this build. It really means a lot. But they've also hooked you guys up with some incredible discount codes and links, and I've left them all down in the description below, and they are definitely worth checking out. But thanks for watching the video, guys. Thanks for supporting. Like I said, if you have enjoyed this video or any of the previous 2 videos in this build series, don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. We'll be back on the channel very soon with some more exciting running adventures, but also van adventures as we head over to Europe for the van's first big outing. We are so excited to test her out properly. But yeah, like I said, thanks for watching. We'll be back soon, and as always, stay safe and keep on running. With all this plush living, a comfy bed, we've got Netflix on the iPad in the drop-down screen there. We've got cozy living downstairs. I'm a little bit worried we're not going to get any work done when we're travelling now. I don't know whether I prefer the harsh life of...
Oh, don't say that.
This is just too comfy.
This is lovely.
Oh.